Hi everyone, I'm immigration lawyer John Khosravi. Thank you so much for joining me today. This Wednesday, January 13th, 5 p.m. Pacific time, we're going to do our regular live Q&A where I'm taking your questions, giving general education answers so you can see what's going on, along with a lot of updates on what's going on in the immigration system. It's been a wild west that still continues, and the last days, the waning days of the Trump administration, they're still throwing their punches and making some major changes. So as the questions come up, we'll describe what those are. Just feel free to launch those questions on YouTube Live, a JK Law Firm page, the Instagram page, JK Law Firm, as well as our TikTok page, which is very popular, Immigration Lawyer John. If you haven't already, like, subscribe for those watching on video on YouTube and on the other channels as well, where we have a lot of information coming, very powerful videos that really open your eyes on what's going on in this immigration system to help strategize what your next steps will be to avoid a lot of the headaches if possible. So there's going to be some headaches, it's the U.S. immigration, but we're going to try to lessen all those today and in the future. We'll get started in a second. There's been some changes. They're trying to fight with, the government's trying to fight and push back on H-1B laws and make it more difficult, making the wages people need to get to be able to get the H-1B work visa really high as opposed to being low. They also rejiggered the lottery system, so there's going to be massive changes that are happening in the H-1B lottery for those who have jobs and want to file this early, spring. So be careful for that. MK says, how are you? My question, I did my master's back in '98 from Chicago, now working in Toronto, Canada. Am I qualified to apply under EB-2 through consular services? Thank you and regards. You know, MK, that's not the proper question to ask. For an EB, employment-based 2 category, typically you have an employer that's going to hire you, so you have to see what job you're going to do there, how much the employer is going to pay you, and all this kind of stuff. Plus, I don't know anything about your background to see if you have inadmissibility issues, things that could prevent you from getting U.S. status. So that's majorly prevents me from answering your question. Now, there is an EB-2 category called the National Interest Waiver. That may be what you're talking about, but simply having a master's degree doesn't play a role in that. For the National Interest Waiver, you're saying that you've done work in the past and you're going to continue doing in the United States. If you get a green card, that's going to really change the game. It's going to affect the whole country. Just the master's degree, there's a million people with master's degree. It doesn't mean they're going to do something that's going to change the nation of America. So you need to consult an immigration in private and look over it and then see what's going on. That kind of information right here doesn't help give any answer. Gomesh asks, hello sir, immigration judge granted my adjustment of status I-485 on November 17th in court, but USCIS not updated status. Well, it's not that easy. You have to go do some paperwork to get USCIS to update the status. First of all, USCIS.gov's updated status is not reliable, so it's not something you should keep looking at to think it's going to tell you anything necessarily. But there's steps you need to do once your adjustment of status is approved in court. It doesn't, the court doesn't just do it for you, send it to USCIS and fix it up. There's stuff that you have to do. So hopefully you have an immigration attorney that's helping you out with that could do the work and get it started. But there's delays packed in this cake. Captain Marvelin asks, what can I use in lieu of a lost birth certificate? Not much. Just because your birth certificate is lost doesn't mean you could do something in place of it. You should request another one. Unless it's impossible to get a birth certificate and the U.S. recognizes that impossibility. For example, if you're from an Indian person that was born in 1930, then that's when you could do an alternative and they may work with you. But just because it's lost doesn't mean anything. You could still request another one from your local government. Can I travel with my 18-month extension green card? What you probably mean, you have a 2-year green card that went expired, you renewed it, you got a receipt notice that gives you an 18-month extension. Can you travel? I don't know if you can travel because I don't know anything about you, but generally you can use the extension plus the expired green card to travel. Now whether you can, I don't know. I can't give you individual case advice because I don't know what's going on in your case, but that's the general idea behind it. Time says, can I get an I-551 stamp, that's a green card stamp to your passport, from InfoPass while we're waiting for the receipt notice? Probably not, because if you haven't got the receipt notice, that means your case isn't started most likely, or haven't cashed your check. So probably not. You could always call them and see if there's some sort of exceptions and stuff like that. There may be, but unless you have receipt notice, they don't know that you've actually filed your case. So it puts you in a difficult position. Nagina says, hello, I came with the K-1 visa in February and we didn't get married within 90 days because of a lockdown and got married in June. Does this make it difficult for the green card process? it doesn't necessarily make it difficult when you're doing a K1 visa. I did a whole video on this and I spent a lot of time on it. No one watched it. I only have 200 views on it, but we'll go watch it. I explained your exact situation thingy on YouTube. It's a must-watch K1 visa video I put out last week. I don't know why I made people want to watch it. It was a great video. And essentially, when you have a K1 fiancé visa and you enter the United States, you're supposed to get married within 90 days. But because of the lockdown, a lot of the places where you could get married were closed, so you couldn't get married. Some people have to wait past the 90-day mark. So it's still okay as long as you get married. You still are able to file for the green card, but you have to do the whole marriage green card process, which is filing a Form I-130, adjustment of status, all that together. So what I recommend doing is, now that you have to do a full I-130 adjustment package, download my Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide. It's a no-cost guide. If you go to www.marriageimmigrationlaw.com, it'll give you an idea of the whole process. And then if you like, schedule a time, we have a consultation, discuss some more, and maybe do the case. But first, just download the guide, www.marriageimmigrationlaw.com. Put your email there, you'll get that. And it's more than 44 pages. I added stuff to it, I updated it, so if you get some good information there. I think it's better than any other guide there is out there, especially free ones. If my green card expires and I don't have any notification until then, can I however apply for a job or travel to another country? Well, if you're gonna apply for a job, travel to another country, you need to have proof that you have a valid work authorization or travel permission. USCIS just updated the rules today. Thank you for this part of the question. This actually helped out. It's a great thing. Once you file to renew your I-90, they will send you a receipt. Now, getting receipts right now is taking a while, but that receipt automatically will be a 1-year extension that you can use for proof of work and travel and all this kind of stuff. But it depends on what kind of, if you had a 2-year green card, 10-year green card, there's a lot of things that go into it. That's that. Hi, Mr. Khosravi. Is it common for a consulate to keep someone's passport for 5 months after the interview to obtain a green card? The medical examens are expiring in a week. Now again, it's not common, but they do this to Iranian cases. I see a lot. You could ask for it back. It's just that they don't pay attention. But I've heard this happens usually for Iranian cases. But the ones that I see in like Abu Dhabi, Turkey, or Armenia and stuff, they do stuff like this. Especially Abu Dhabi used to do this a lot. They're not supposed to. If a week or two goes by, they're not going to approve your case at that time. They may approve your case, but there's administrative processing. It takes longer. They got to just send your passport back. But you could ask for it back, but I see this stuff happening. You're gonna have to do another medical exam even if the case is approved, so just be prepared for that. All right, everyone, thank you so much. God bless, be safe, and we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye. I hope you enjoyed this educational video. We have a second channel with much more information as well at JQK Immigration Clips. Please check that out. Also, you'll find our social media site has a lot more videos, images, and information about the U.S. immigration process. Please check those out on the various social media websites.